Groundhog's Day, Edge of Tomorrow, Happy Death Day to you, and now Palm Springs. Feel like I might be caught in a time loop of the same movie plot being reused over and over. Does this one separate itself from the others? Let's talk about it. Groundhog's Day, Edge of Tomorrow, Happy Death Day to you, and now Palm Springs. Feel like I might be caught in a time loop of the same movie plot being reused over and over. Does this one separate itself from the others? Let's talk about it. Groundhog's Day, Edge of Tomorrow. Does anybody else feel like they're having a weird case of deja vu? Welcome to Durbania, I'm Durbin, and this is my spoiler-free review for the Hulu original movie, Palm Springs. So does this movie separate itself from the other movies using that Groundhog's Day type plot? Is it hilarious and worth your time to check out? It kind of does separate itself from those other plots, and it kind of doesn't. And it probably is worth your time to check out. It's 2020, there's not a whole lot of other stuff out there, and you know what? This movie ain't bad. I'm gonna give it a B-. Now for me, it is more or less kind of average, but I kicked it up one notch above average. The reason being, I was highly entertained. I thought the movie was pretty funny. It had some pretty great laugh out loud moments, but for me, it remains at this B-. Because when you look at, say, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or Parks and Rec, or The Office, or Tommy Boy starring Chris Farley, things like that are fantastic comedies that I can always go back through. They are hysterical. They have great classic moments that I'm always anticipating. No matter how many times I've seen them, I'm always so excited to come back to those moments. And as I was watching this movie, while I was entertained, and I did enjoy it, I don't feel like it had any of those moments that became these classic comedy moments to draw me back in. And that's why this gets a B-, because I'm not in a hurry to go back and rewatch it again or anything like that. Maybe one day in the distant future when I'm kind of bored, but even then I still might hit Brooklyn Nine-Nine first, or rewatch Tommy Boy or something like that. So that's just kind of where I am with that one. So some of the positives of this movie, I mean, it had a very good cast. I mean, come on. You have Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You have Tracy, Ted Mosby's wife from the final season of How I Met Your Mother. You have J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man, and let's not forget Superman from Supergirl, and more. So, overall, it's got a very good cast. Overall, they all have a good chemistry with each other, and they work really well with each other, which is great, because when you have Niles and Sarah, you need that to work, and I feel like these are two pretty darn funny actors, and they're hilarious together. They have a great chemistry together. And so the way this one, I guess, tries to separate itself from the other Groundhog's Day type things is you have this cave. And the cave is mysterious. There's something in the cave that has them caught in this time loop where they're repeating the day over and over and over again. And Niles gets, Sarah stuck into this time loop. And that's what separates this from the other ones, because this is a romantic comedy stuck inside of Groundhog's Day. Wait, that's a romantic comedy too, isn't it? I haven't seen that in a while. The point is, the romantic interest is stuck in the time loop with the main guy, and they're both experiencing it. And so we get a little bit of it from Niles' perspective, and then we cut and get a little bit of it from Sarah's perspective. So we do get it from each of their individual perspectives. And again, these actors are both pretty funny. They do have a great chemistry together. And that was one of the best parts of watching this movie, because while I'm not the biggest romantic comedy fan, I will say I felt like they were falling in love. They did a great job with that. When they were having fun with each other on screen, I felt like they were truly having fun with each other. When they were goofing off because the day has absolutely no meaning and there's no consequences, so they're doing all these crazy things, there were a lot of pretty great and pretty funny moments. And one of the best things was watching both of these characters each morning as they wake up a little bit happier, which I think goes into kind of the plot and the moral of this, because sometimes in life, right, life feels like it could be mundane. Life can feel like it's the exact same thing on repeat every single day. So this movie took it to the extreme where literally they're stuck in a time loop and the same day is repeating. So it literally seems to have no meaning and they have no choice but to live. And yet Niles and Sarah find meaning caught inside of that time loop. So I think that is all positive, and I just liked how those two actors work together. So overall, I thought that was a pretty cool concept. Something I could have done with more of in this movie was more J.K. Simmons. The dude is flipping hysterical. How he gets caught in this time loop, his role that he plays in this movie, it was fantastic. But I consider it a genuine negative that we didn't get more J.K. Simmons. Why would we not get more of that? You see it in the trailer. He's hunting Niles. It's hysterical, and we only get a precious few scenes of that. Then we get some pretty cool words of wisdom from J.K. Simmons about finding meaning in a situation such as this. So it does have some good stuff. His character has heart and brings some heart to the film. So he is a very strong positive in the movie, but that's why it's such a great negative to me that it's not as big as I was hoping it would be. I could have done with more of him, more of his interaction with Niles and Sarah. I could have done with way more of that, and I'm sad that we didn't get that. Another thing that's kind of a negative is I feel like this movie, it wanted to give us some twists and turns, but you could see the bend in the road a mile away. Like, I didn't find it too twisty. I didn't find anything surprising, so it didn't do anything like that for me. Like, you could just tell what was coming. So here it is trying, I think, to be a little clever and give you a twist, but it just wasn't that twisty. Something else I wish I got more of, the cave. Now, the movie made the right choice. It's not about the cave. It's not about the sci-fi science of the time loop. The movie made a choice about its identity. It's a romantic comedy. So I think it made the right choice by focusing on that, but I still wish I got a little bit more of the cave, and that's the sci-fi nerd in me. What is in that cave that is creating this crazy time loop that is making the day repeat over again? It would have been fun if we got to see Niles and Sarah together doing a little bit more research on that cave, and I think there could have been a lot of fun ways they could have incorporated that into the movie, and thus maybe incorporated the cave in there a little bit more. But I will give it this. The movie was not torn in two about its identity, and it knew what it wanted to be. Now, this is the part that may or may not be a spoiler. I don't think it's a spoiler, so this is your heads up. We're going to dive into it in 3, 2, 1.
That's new.
I so want those dinosaurs to be real. I mean, I get it. In the context of the scene, it's more than likely a shared hallucination, but I'm looking at that going, what? We're already dealing with time travel. I mean, come on. Is it really that much more unrealistic that somehow the cave opened a time-space continuum and the dinosaurs got caught in their loop and then they could learn how to ride the brontosaurus? Okay, yeah, that's probably way too much for this movie, but I like the dinosaurs. Would like to have seen more real dinosaurs.
Are they real?
Who cares?
I do. I care. Time-traveling dinosaurs. So I'm giving the movie a B-. It was fun. It was entertaining. I did enjoy it. It is worth your time to watch this weekend. If you're looking for a fun romantic comedy, it's worth your time to check out. I am not in a hurry to see it again. I don't feel like I have to watch it again anytime soon. There was no great big classical moment thing that would like draw me back in. So what did you think of Palm Springs? Would you go higher or would you go lower with your grade? Let's talk about that in the comments. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button to become a Durbanian and hit that bell by the subscribe button so you're notified the next time I do a movie review, a ranking video, theological analysis, or anything else I do here. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.